okay, everybody knows how this all works. How is it defensible? Why does only Costco do Costco? But first, tell us about Costco today.
So I don't think people realize how big Costco is. It's sort of a sleepy story since it's tucked away in a Seattle suburb. They don't do a lot of chest pounding. They just are quiet. And they do $230 billion in revenue. They're the third largest retailer in the US. They have 124 million members worldwide. 1/3 of US shoppers are Costco customers. They have a little over 300,000 employees at 860 stores. We talked about this. They do $750,000 of revenue per employee.
Yeah, that's wild. If I remember from our Walmart episode, Walmart, I think, has over 2 million employees. I believe Amazon has well over 1 million.
Yeah, so Costco is doing somewhere between 1/3 and 1/2 the total revenue of Walmart, but they're doing it with, almost an order of magnitude fewer people.
Yeah.
It's crazy. They have the highest revenue dollars per square foot of any wholesaler or discount store. Target's about $450 per square foot of revenue. Walmart's about $600. Costco is $1,800 per square foot of revenue.
Wow. Is that a Costco or an Apple store?
And they have a lot of square feet.
Yeah.
And this is up from, let me look at this graph. In 1998, they had $600 a foot, and now they're at $1,800 a foot. So meaningfully grown it. It's important to point out, you made the comment about Apple. Costco's margins are a lot lower than Apple. So they're generating a huge amount of revenue dollars, not so much on the margin dollars, but as we've been talking about, that's the point.
Yep. The individual warehouses these days, you may have these stats exactly, but I think on average, Costco warehouse generates over $200 million in revenue. And the top ones generate $400 million of revenue for a single store. Like, single Costco's could be scaled public companies on their own.
Yeah. $269 million of sales per store on average per year.
Wow.
Nuts. So just for fun, let's go north of 1,800 just to see who else is out there. Tiffany is 3,000. So kind of within spitting distance, like it's only 2x or it's less than 2x. And they sell diamonds.
Well, so does Costco.
That's true. Apple, of course, is the GOAT at $5,500 a square foot with high margins. I mean, Apple's just a nuts business. But it's worth pointing out Lululemon is approaching Costco level 2. They're around $1,600 a foot, but of course, much smaller stores than Costco. Costco is just unbelievably efficient. We talked earlier about how that's illustrated in the headcount efficiency, but now we see it in the real estate efficiency too.
Yep.
This point on growing revenue per foot is interesting. You know, I mentioned it went from 600 to 1,800 over the last 25 years because it reminds us to look at an important similar metric in retail, which is same store sales. So Costco grew this by 14% last year.
Wow.
Same store sales, 14%, which is how you get to that $269 million of revenue per store. They are so good at this that they actually publish their stores by cohort year in their annual report, which almost no other company and certainly no other retailer does. And they clearly illustrate that not only does the average store increase meaningfully over the previous year in most years, but new stores also inherit a lot of the learnings. So the first year of a new store is dramatically better than what first years of stores were years ago. And to illustrate this, year 1 of a store opened last year was better than year 5 of a store opened in 2014.
Wow.
It's crazy.
It's also wild that these stores are still growing at those rates year over year, given that many Costco stores have been open for like 30 plus years at this point.
Right? It's crazy. I mean, part of it is the addition of gas and the other big ancillary items they're selling, but part of it also is just being really good merchants and finding these little things that members love and find value in and doing little optimizations everywhere.
Yeah. And exactly to that point, you know, one of the sort of famous aspects today of the Costco shopping experience is the treasure hunt nature of it. And this is something that they've learned over time. You know, the original Sol Price Club business plan was just the 3,000 kind of core SKUs for businesses and then opening that up to consumers. Along the way, they kind of realized that, hey, if in addition to the core staples we have, which pretty much don't change, we could change the brands, we could change, you know, the exact details of what they are, but like we're always going to have nuts, we're always going to have chicken, stuff like that. If we have a small number of additional ooh and ah, wow, one-time items, such that every time as a member you come into the store, there's something new and different for you to find and buy at a really low price, that would drive repeat traffic and make coming to Costco more of a novelty, more of an entertainment event. And so today, I think about 25% of their SKUs are these treasure hunt items.
Huh. I did not realize that. I mean, I know they've done they've sort of learned a bunch of things over the years, like when they sort of brought in fresh food for the first time, they didn't optimize the place in the store where they put that, but they still saw a huge spike because it drove repeat. When you have fresh food, people come in, they want to buy that, they add some other stuff, but they've sort of been very clever in figuring out where to put it in the store to make sure that you have to walk by a bunch of other stuff to get, I mean, the fresh food is in the back, right? It's like if you're coming in for fresh food, congratulations, you get to see all these other cool things that our buyers have managed to find out in the world for you. And of course you get some of those too.
Yep. And I think for the items, again, the non-staples, the treasure hunt type items, they intentionally want to run out so that like they're not going to be there next time you come.
Yes, that's a good point.